of their first 20 games and went into the playoffs as favorites to win their second NBA crown. The Blazers, however, just couldn't find a way to contain the determined Lakers. Leave it to Magic Johnson to upset Portland. Although the Blazers were expected to take their second consecutive Western Conference title, Los Angeles held on to take favorite Portland in 6. Going into the Eastern Conference Finals, the smugly confident Detroit Pistons fully expected to continue their quest for a third straight NBA crown. But the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan had other plans.
We had to get over the intimidation factor. This team has intimidated us for 3 years in a row. This team has always been vocal towards us, trying to take our minds away from the game. I said, let's use some reverse psychology. Let's go and start talking trash to them, and see how they take it.
Double team underneath Robbins. Missed the dunk, but Rollins.
Next thing you know, we had them rattled.
Sometimes he loses his cool when he gets upset.
It was like a rolling ball. We became more confident within ourselves as a unit. So we used that reverse psychology to beat them.
Beat them they did in 4 straight, humiliating the ex-champions along the way. If Michael Jordan was to win an NBA championship, his Bulls would have to overcome Magic Johnson, the league's consummate winner.
Somehow we're going to have to outsmart these guys because they've been there. Magic's been there, 11 times, 12 times? We knew they were an older team. We were hoping they were not as hungry as we were.
Playing in their first NBA Finals, the Bulls confidently charged onto the Chicago Stadium court with a 15-game home playoff winning streak and the many talents of the best player in the game.
Wide open. The cross-court pass stolen by PJ. To Michael, back to PJ. To Michael. PJ.
Soon, however, it became apparent that Michael and the Bulls had underestimated the Lakers' appetite. Down 2 with 15 seconds left, Sam Perkins hit a three-point shot to give L.A. the lead. Now with a game on the line, it was obvious what Chicago would do.
But everyone in the gymnasium, everybody that was watching television knew I was going to take the shot. I got the ball very easily and got an open shot and felt in rhythm. It rattled in and came out. And right then I just knew, I said, it was not meant to be. But it was a moral victory for us because, hey, we didn't play well, but yet we had a chance to win the ball game at the end. This is what we took from that first game. And from that point on, I knew we could win. I anticipated Sam Perkins coming up and blocking the shot, and I exposed the ball a lot more than I wanted to, and I had all the intentions of dunking the ball. And for some reason, instinctively, I just switched hands because I anticipated him jumping to block the shot. And it came off great. I made the shot. It looked great. But from everyone's perspective, it was very creative, and it was something that I planned to do from when I first took off the ground. But the defense altered that shot, and my instinctive creativity took over in the air.
When the series shifted to Los Angeles for the pivotal third game, the Lakers raced out to a 13-point lead midway through the third quarter. But the Bulls came back to tie the game halfway through the fourth. Chicago eventually took a 1-point lead into the game's waning moments before Vlade Divac completed a three-point play to put LA up by a basket. Down 2 with 10 seconds left, Michael had a chance for redemption.
I thought back to game 1. I said, well, this is a possibility that I can redeem myself. And I was very surprised that Phil chose to take the ball full court instead of moving up to half court. But I was able to beat Byron and able to get a shot off before they reacted.
Pull up jumper, he
It
scores!
was an inch from Vlade Divac's fingertips. He almost blocked that shot, but I was able to get it off, and you know that's a redemption. You know, that was something that played in my mind that it was going to happen at some point in time in that series. I was going to get a chance to redeem myself, and that was a good opportunity, and it happened.
In overtime, Jordan scored half of the Bulls' 12 points as Chicago took a giant step towards the title by outlasting the Lakers 104-96. Michael's magic set the tone for the rest of the series. The Bulls were on the loose, and the rout was on. Perhaps most gratifying to Chicago was that their domination over the Lakers was far from a one-man show. John Paxson, for one, hit from all over the court, shooting 70% from the field over the final 2 games. The '91 finals also served as a coming-out party for Scottie Pippen, who showed the rest of the country what Chicago had known all along, that he is one of the league's premier players. Michael Jordan's teammates had finally flown as high as the NBA's most celebrated player.
I think it was just their self-determination to say, hey, we're a part of this team as well as Michael is a part of this team. And we feel we make contributions to this team as much as he does. And they did it.
In the end, though, it was Jordan who gained the most, answering his critics by demonstrating that he, too, was a winner like Magic, leading the Bulls to their first ever title in becoming only the second player in NBA history to win in the same year the regular season scoring title and the NBA championship.
The Bulls are the world champions!
We get into the locker room, I get on my knees, and I say thank you. I say a prayer real quickly, and then we all said the prayer. And then once I got the trophy, it was all an emotional situation. This is what for 7 years, I've been struggling trying to get to this point. People said that I may not ever get to it, and this is the most emotional that I've ever been publicly. And it was one of those situations where I just couldn't control myself. I was overwhelmed by the whole situation, and it was a very thrilling situation for me.
Biggest newsmaker in women's tennis in 1991? Who else but 17-year-old Monica Seles? Not only did she cause an uproar with her mysterious withdrawal at Wimbledon, Seles earned the most money, became the world's #1 ranked player, and won all 3 of the Grand Slam tournaments she entered. Seles' success was no surprise. France's, however, was almost unimaginable. Led by Guy Forget and Henri Lecomte, the French upset a U.S. team which included Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras. And as most of France celebrated, along with Captain Yannick Noah, took possession of the Davis Cup for the first time since before World War II. Jimmy Connors didn't win a single tournament in 1991, but the 39-year-old won over fans at the U.S. Open with a study in ability and willpower that left nearly everyone in an emotional frenzy. Although he would ultimately lose to Jim Courier in the semifinals, Connors left us with a memorable 5-match string that amazingly included 2 5-set wins over opponents almost half his age.
Nearly everywhere you looked in 1991, a ghost from our sporting past was attempting to recapture former glory. Some succeeded, some failed, but perhaps they all felt the same as one who gave it another try. Unfortunately for Mark Spitz, his comeback try didn't exactly happen the way he would have liked, and it ended after several disappointing performances. The same thing happened to pitcher Jim Palmer, whose spring training attempt to become baseball's first active Hall of Famer lasted just 17 days. Bjorn Borg and his antiquated wood racket produced another failed comeback in 1991. Apparently losing in the first round of the Monte Carlo Open to a player he would have hammered in his heyday was too much for the former champion to take.
I didn't play any matches for many years, and to play against all the guys today, you really need to be match tough.
Some who came back were match tough, like Jimmy Connors on the court and a fellow fighter in the ring.
I want to fight again